Hi, I wanted to share my grow op with you. Here it is in my basement, my very rustic and generally overcrowded basement. You can see there is a place to sit and a few little worktop tables, and then supplies at the bottom and things growing. So let me just start here with a place to sit, ever important. And then I wanted to just show, this is just a worktop table. Usually right here I have a box of seeds, my box of seed collection. Down here is just some leftover perlite and potting soil and worm castings. That's nothing. This little table is my supply table. I have a pen, and usually I have a little workbook where I make notes on, what I've planted, what's starting to germinate, and I record all of those things by date so I can kind of track how long things took to grow, to start, and what didn't grow at all, so I know to mark those seeds as either defunct or just throw them out altogether. Scissors. This garden marker is apparently, this is the first year I'm using it, so I can't say for sure that it works, but apparently when you write on your little tab what your seed is, that marker won't fade in the sun and it won't wash off with the rain, so I'm very hopeful for that. I keep some popsicle sticks and some kebab skewers handy just for things like making little holes. Making little holes. Sometimes I need to scoop soil out, and this is just makes for a little handy disposable scoop that is easier than always using my fingers. I have a bunch of trays that I keep, partly because when you water, you want to catch any excess or runoff, but also I just find it a helpful place to do my actual planting. That way, when soil tips out, I don't care. I don't have to clean it up later because it's it's meant to have soil in it, so that's fine. Some of the game changers for this year, I'm going to just go through them one by one, not in order of any order of importance though. This fan seems really important for mimicking outdoor conditions because all of these plants are going to go outside, and some of them today they're going to harden off outside today, starting today. This gentle breeze upon them I leave it on for 12 hours a day. The same, I leave it on for as long as the lights are on. So that's 12 hours a day. It just allows these little seedlings to feel some resistance, and thereby it strengthens their stalks. And my guess, I don't know scientifically, but my guess is that when they have that kind of breeze blowing across them, they have to have tougher root structures as well to hold the plant in place and to hold it erect. So that is the point of that, and I really do think it's important. Obviously, another really important feature of an indoor grow op is the lights. I have two styles. This was my original style that I got, and I like them very well. They're just fine. They have one of those on-off toggles. So all of this type of light, because it doesn't come with its own timer, is on a timer, which I will talk about in just a sec. My second style of light is newer. It's these guys. They're like a flat, very flat plate of bulbs, and they actually come with their own timer that looks like this. So there's on off is the top button, but once it's on, you can press the second button. I can't show you or it'll screw up the timing schedule that we're on, but there's 4 hour, 6 hour, 12 hour options on that little timer light. So that's perfect. Excellent. Another tool that was worth the investment was this little heat mat. I actually use it for sourdough as well sometimes, or rising baked goods. So it has multifunctions in this house, but for the last 2 months, it has purely been to keep these pepper plants, give them a little extra heat. as has this humidity dome, which they are now starting to get too big to fit under, as you see. But up until about this week, between the heat mat, which is on a very low, I think I've only got it set to 24 degrees, and this humidity dome has really helped to give the pepper plants a warmer environment than my straight up basement could provide them. So that's really important, and as has this dome been. The timer. So I've used timers before, but this particular one is a new purchase, which I'm absolutely loving. It is a power bar. So there's one plug in the wall, and then the power bar hanging there over that old door. 4 of its 8 outlets are on the timer, and 4 of them are not. So on the timer, I have all of the lights that don't have their own timer, and the fan, because it obviously doesn't have a timer either. So the timer of the power bar and the timers that the lights that come with their own timers, they're all set to the same right now, which is nice. It's a nice coordinated, pretty close anyway, I think, but within 5 minutes of each other. So every morning around 6, all the lights come on, the fan comes on, and then when I wander down here to give everybody a drink, I don't have to worry about like jumping out of bed at 6 to make sure everybody gets enough light in the daytime. So that's been kind of quite a huge game changer, and was just a heck of a find. I was so happy to know that even existed. Another feature of this little operation, is I keep this big bucket of potting medium, which is actually a combination of, look at that, silly, that's not supposed to loop through there. Okay, it's actually a combination of potting soil, coconut coir, and perlite. The perlite is just to lighten up the mix, like in terms of weight. So once I put all those constituents in the bucket, put on my gloves, gave it a really good stir, then most of the time, if I'm coming downstairs to plant, I will water the whole thing, give it a good mix, and just let the water saturate into the coir and the soil. And that way, when I go to plant, everything is already moist. And I don't know if you can tell by video, but this is pretty moist. It's not wet; it's just moist, and that's a nice medium for a new seed. So I have that, and then I also have this bucket over here, has some additional soil in it. That has perlite and coir in it too. So I have a lot going on. Finally, the most useful thing that I've done, or one of the 5 most useful things I've done to make this a successful operation this year, is the water. So I have this spritzer, which is just 1.5 liters. You pump it out to put some pressure in the spritz, and then it produces a really fine mist that won't disturb your newly planted seeds, nor will it assault your baby sprouts. It's just a nice, light, gentle mist for them. So that's great. I fill it from one of these 2-gallon jugs, which are just tap water, but they've been left out uncapped for at least 24 hours, if not longer, just to let any chlorine in the water evaporate, and to come up to sort of a room temperature. And that way, when I do use tap water, it's at least the most benign tap water I can produce for these seedlings. So I fill the spritzer, and then for any plants that can handle the watering from a watering can, I fill both of these vessels from both of those vessels, and it's just a constant rotation. So I keep all my little pots here of various sizes. I have the tiny 1-inch cells. I just bought some little 2-inch up pots, and then these are all 3 and 4-inch. I think they're mostly 4-inch at this point. This guy looks maybe like he's ready for the trash. So that is generally, I think, what makes this successful is that because I'm comfortably seated and everything is at hand, the thought of popping down here to plant a seed for just 10 minutes means I don't have to spend 30 minutes collecting all my supplies. Everything is ready to go. It's here. And that for me, I imagine I'm not alone in this, but for me, that makes all the difference. Because if I had to go outside to the shed, put on my boots, put on a coat, tromp out to the shed, bring all this stuff in just to plant 6 seeds, it would not happen. So having everything sort of ready to go, and then, the lights are already on. So if I plant another, what is it? I've got 27 cells sitting here waiting to be planted. If I planted all those right now, it would probably take me about an hour to get them planted and labeled, and I could just pop them in this tray, and they're already under lights. There's just nothing extra to be done. Everything, all that work was done up front, back in late February when I set up this rack. And then, just sort of slowly as I needed workstations, I found this little table, and then I made this little thing out of some speaker stands that I stole from Marty, and an old shelf that we didn't have mounted anywhere. So it is obviously very makeshift, out of just stuff we had kicking around. I saved any expenditure for the things that actually I can't make or find, like the lights, the heat mat, the timer, the fan. Those are things that I will use year after year after year. So for me, they were worth the investment, because I really do think that at least half of this, if not all of it, would not have sprouted the way it has and survived the way it has without those tools to help it along. So that is my big share. Thanks for stopping by. Stay classy.